All right, long time no see. It's been a while. I just really miss coming on a YouTube live stream. It's been about a solid 45 minutes or so since the last time I did this. Laker fans, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. The news just dropped on D'Angelo, so I kind of like this, to be honest with you. I like that I could just focus on one topic, and he's a player that everybody has an opinion on. D'Angelo Russell is re-signing with the Los Angeles Lakers, so I'm going to get into that. Before I do, let me just also throw out there, please subscribe to the channel. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, would greatly appreciate that. And also, if you got a comment, I will 100% read all the super chats. I will do my best to get to those that are not super chats to make sure that I get to those as well. So let me break down the terms of the deal, what the Lakers got, and also really just what I think is some really, really good value for the Lakers. So let's get into the article real quick. We saw the tweet that came down not too long ago, but Dave McMenamin already put a story up on this. So I'm just going to kind of walk through the article on ESPN.com. Woj was the first to report it. Lakers and D'Angelo Russell agreed to a 2-year, $37 million deal with the Lakers. CAA basketball, Austin Brown, Aaron Mintz, along with Antonio Russell, told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski on Saturday. The deal includes a player option for the second year. Okay, let me spend a little bit of time on this. Okay. Let me just first talk about the actual terms of the deal, because that's the thing. If you just listen to, literally, I was just talking about Jackson Hayes, Damian Lillard in the last live stream that I did yesterday when I was talking about the Lakers when they went out and got Torian Prince and Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish. Every time I talked about D'Angelo Russell, the thing that I kept mentioning is, hey, maybe there isn't that big of a market for D'Angelo Russell. Maybe you don't have to walk in and offer this guy some, big time contract. Maybe what happened in the playoffs maybe deterred a lot of people from going after D'Angelo Russell, number one. The fact that he's already been with 5 teams in his career. Now, this is the second stint with the Lakers, so you can call it 4 teams. Maybe there wasn't just this line of everybody wanting to have, or everybody in the D'Angelo Russell business. I'm going to give some credit to somebody here. You guys all know Jovan Buha, the Athletic. So Jovan was on a podcast, whatever it was, week and a half ago, something like that. And he was talking about how he doesn't think the Lakers got to give him a long-term deal because he doesn't feel like there's a lot of teams out there offering D'Angelo Russell some type of a deal. And when the Lakers introduced the 2 rookies a couple days ago, this was on Tuesday at the Lakers training facility, I was talking to Jovan, and we're kind of having the same conversation. And he kept saying that I don't think there's a big market for D'Lo, so the Lakers could potentially walk away with a very team-friendly deal. I don't know what you guys think, but if you would have told me that when the Lakers signed D'Angelo Russell, that to get him back when they traded for him, to get him back, it was only going to cost you 2 years and $37 million. That's a really, really good team-friendly deal for the Los Angeles Lakers. It is. Listen, D'Angelo Russell's coming off a contract. What was it? Let me double check here. I just tweeted it out a couple seconds ago. He's coming off a contract where he made 4 years, or he got 4 years and $117 million. 4 years, 117 was the contract that D'Angelo Russell's coming off of, where he played for a few different teams, the Warriors, the Brooklyn, or the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he was on a few different organizations. But I cannot tell you, and you guys know this, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I'm also not going to try to pretend the moment D'Angelo Russell signs with the Lakers, I'm all of a sudden the biggest D'Lo fan. No. I've emphasized this, and I'll continue to emphasize it. My concern with D'Angelo Russell is when push comes to shove, and you're the Los Angeles Lakers, and the goal is not just to make the playoffs. You just got to the Western Conference Finals. Yes, you got swept, but you just got to the Western Conference Finals. The goal next season is this might be our last run, our last opportunity to make the NBA Finals. Are you going to play D'Angelo Russell in a game when there's 2 minutes left to go, the game is tied at 105. Is D'Lo going to be in the game? Last season, it was Dennis Schroeder. It was Austin Reeves. It was not D'Angelo Russell. This upcoming year, maybe it's Gabe Vincent with Austin Reeves. I know Reeves hasn't signed yet. But that's the question mark with D'Angelo Russell. This type of deal for a player like D'Angelo Russell, I still have the same feeling about D'Lo. I still don't, when you tell me, hey, give me some players that you think are true winners in the NBA, D'Lo's not going to come up. D'Lo's going to be very far down the list for me. But to be able to get D'Angelo Russell, 2 years, $37 million, that's good value for the Lakers. You're not locked into a long-term deal. He's got a player option, and I actually kind of like that for D'Lo. If he's got a little bit of flexibility here, is if he has a really good season or next year the market kind of changes and he feels like there's going to be 3-4 teams that want him, cool. Go get your money. You could opt out of the deal and go figure out, whatever it is that you need to go do. But D'Angelo Russell, in my opinion, 2 years, $37 million. That sounds like a good deal for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's how I look at it. There's a little bit of history here for D'Lo, but this is the thing that I want to point out the most. D'Angelo Russell is 27 years old now. Look at his averages during the regular season, and look what happened in the playoffs. D'Angelo Russell averaged 17 points a game, shot almost 50 freaking percent from the field, 48% from the field, and 41% from three in 17 regular season games after the trade. Remember, D'Lo got injured. It was against the Golden State Warriors. DiVincenzo, he steps on his ankle or stepped on his foot, turns his ankle. It was an out of bounds play. Kind of never happens, but missed, I think, 6-8 games in a row, something like that. So D'Lo only played 17 games for the Lakers, but in the regular season, he's doing a good job. Look at those numbers. 17 points a game, 6 assists on top of it, and he was efficient. Okay, well, what happened in the playoffs? Playoffs, then I go back to this. You got players that either all of a sudden start making a lot more money because of their postseason play. Bruce Brown went and got paid because of what he did in the postseason. Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves about to get paid what he was able to do in the postseason. I know it's not just all postseason related, but players that step up their performance in the playoffs. Gabe Vincent is another good example. He had a nice playoff run for the Miami Heat. Players that step up in the postseason, what happens to them is they get a paycheck if the timing is right, if they become a free agent right after it, if it's the last thing that you remember from that player, if the lights got brighter and you shined even brighter than you did when the lights were dim, that's a great sign. If the lights got brighter and you started, walking over to the corner trying to get out of the light, that's probably not going to help your paycheck there. So in this specific circumstance, his numbers did dip. 13 points a game. His shooting went from 48% to 42%. His three-point shooting went from 41 to 31. And then I don't have to tell everybody in the Western Conference Finals what he averaged. 6.8 points a game, only shot 32%. And his minutes was basically it was Circuit City stock. It just was going like this. And then it went bankrupt, right? I don't know if Circuit City is the best example, but the point is that he plummeted in the playoffs, and he plummeted specifically when the moments were so big against the Denver Nuggets. And, I don't think you ever want a situation like that. What you're hoping for is that he shined in those situations, and he didn't. Dennis Schroeder had a nice postseason. He went and got paid. There's other players around the NBA that performed in the postseason that went and got paid. That's how the business works. And I think for anybody, everybody understands that. I know I have not even read one comment yet, and I'm going to read some of these comments here in just a second, but I just want to kind of go back to this, and I'm going to emphasize it again. Ultimately, at the end of the day, for the Los Angeles Lakers, it was, if you're going to bring D'Angelo Russell back, are you putting yourself into a bad contract? Are you putting yourself in a position that we're going to be looking back a year from now and saying, man, that's a really bad contract. Why'd the Lakers do that to themselves? The answer in this situation is no. I don't think the Lakers, I definitely don't think the Lakers put themselves in a bad position. Definitely don't think it was a bad contract. And 2 years, $37 million. I'll take that all day long if I'm the Lakers and you keep D'Angelo Russell on your team. There really isn't that much downside for the Lakers on this one. And for D'Lo, he's got some work to do to go back to prove to everybody out there that he can be another player that can get a 4-year, $117 million contract like he's got in the past. Okay. Let me read off some of these comments here. I appreciate everybody being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get into some of these comments here. Draft picks still unsigned. Can we trade them? First off, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I don't think the Lakers really have a need to right now. I think the thing to do at this point, I think the Lakers now are going to take some of these players that they signed. So this is who the Lakers, for everybody that just wants a quick reminder here. D'Lo staying for 2 years. Rui Hachimura, 3 years, 51. Gabe Vincent signed. Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes. We'll see what happens here on the Austin Reeves front. I think for the Lakers, it's less about making a trade right now. It's more about let this team walk in with Jared Vanderbilt, with LeBron James, with Anthony Davis. Let them walk into a full training camp. Let's see what this team can do together. Let's see if this team can put something together where all of a sudden, because of the training camp, Darvin Ham's in his second year. These players get some time for continuity. They get to certainly get an opportunity to start to click, I think is the best way to put it. And based off of all of that, then you could kind of start determining, okay, what is it that we need? The contracts that the Lakers signed, they're flexible. And I think it will also kind of give them some opportunity if they need to make some moves down the road, they can maybe do it. All right, Raj, 18 million per year is a great deal. I'm going to go back to saying this because I want to make sure that I say it again. Daniel, thank you for being a part of the show. Good team friendly deal. Good team friendly deal. D'Lo's got some work to do. And D'Lo has a lot that he has to also prove. And D'Angelo Russell is also a player that I think right now around the NBA, there are a lot of people saying to themselves, okay, what is this guy going to be down the road in the NBA? How effective can he be? So with all that being said, now it's up for him to kind of go out there and prove that, hey, I still got great value. I still could be a player that can make it happen. I'm still a player that can find ways to be effective for the Los Angeles Lakers. No. You want me in games where it's crunch time. That's for him to prove. Let me put it this way. If he's not making it happen in crunch time, I would not be surprised that it's the same situation that it was this past postseason. All right, let's see what we got here. Thank you, Kadada Liberd. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate that. By the way, just going to remind everybody, I'll do my best to get to some of these comments. You put a super chat in, I'm reading the comment. I love D'Lo being on the Lakers, but I get why you're 50-50 on him because all right. I think what you're referring to there is more to do with just his style of play. Well, I will say this from a style of play perspective. Eric D, thank you very much for being a part of the show. I do, from a style perspective, there is a little bit of D'Angelo Russell. There's a kind of a too cool for school. No, thank you on that one. I don't care for that. Just go out there and try to win games. That's it. Just go out there and try to win games. Eric D, thank you for the super right there. All right, let me see a couple more of these here. There's a couple actually other things I want to get into too, and I'll do in a second. All right. I hope they could keep Austin Reeves. I don't think Austin Reeves is going to go anywhere. I said this before in the last in the last live that I did. I talked about how, hey, who knows? Maybe this can work in the Lakers' favor. Maybe maybe the Spurs won't come in and offer $100 million for Austin Reeves. Maybe there's a way that the Lakers can kind of get a little bit more of a team-friendly deal with Austin Reeves. And I think they definitely got a team-friendly deal as far as D'Angelo Russell goes. I think that's a good deal for the Lakers. I really do. Love it. D'Lo's floor on any given night is 2 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, but his ceiling is 30 points, 8 assists. It's a good point. It's a good point. Let me say this too, because I know I'm very critical on D'Lo, but there were some games in the playoffs. You guys remember there was a stretch D'Angelo had against the Memphis Grizzlies. Was it game 4? Game 4 or game 6? I can't remember actually. Where he hit basically 3 threes in a row. Lakers were down 97-90. D'Lo hits 3 threes in a row. Lakers win the game 97-99. He had some moments against the Golden State Warriors. So it's not like he did nothing. It just wasn't consistent. What you wanted to see from him is consistency, and you also wanted to see from him that, hey, when things get crunch time, nervous time, how are you going to perform? That part I wasn't crazy about. D'Lo needs to get tougher. Okay, that's Jasper. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, says Al, you were right, 100% with you, but you got him under contract. Give him some time. We can move him later if we see more of the same. Patience here is key. I'm gonna get into actually another topic here. Another topic that I want to get into. I want to talk about Rob Pelinka real quick, and you guys can let me know what you guys think about this. Just a quick reminder here. By the way, if you're on the channel right now, live streaming, we've got about 1,300 people on the live stream. If you can hit the like button, awesome. Greatly appreciate that. If you could subscribe to the channel, we'll greatly appreciate that as well. It takes 2 seconds, but it means a lot for the channel. Let's talk about Rob Pelinka here real quick. I think I mentioned this on Tuesday when I was there for the Lakers presser for the 2 rooks. Got a chance briefly to talk to Rob Pelinka. I'm talking about like a minute conversation. There's a lot of other people there, but got a chance to chat with him for a quick second. And we talked a little bit about last year and basically told him that, from my viewpoint, because I have a lot of interaction with Laker fans from the stuff that I do on the radio, obviously doing the pre and the post for the Lakers, doing Lakers talk, doing this stuff. There's a lot of interaction with Laker fans. And I thought Laker fans, it was a complete 180 on Rob Pelinka. What's the franchise doing? Why the hell aren't you trading Russell Westbrook? Where's this franchise going? Is Rob Pelinka the right guy? All of that. And it is because the Lakers kept recycling their roster and kept getting new players, number one, and not really allowing something to marinate. And number two, the other side of it that I thought was interesting had more to do with this than anything else. I thought it was the fact that they were waiting so long to trade Russ, even though everybody knew freaking trade Russ. Talk about Russell Westbrook. And Rob Pelinka, with all the pressure, with all the stuff that was going on and the national attention, with all the stuff that was going on with Russ, even in some of his post-game comments, he looked like he was just not happy to be a Los Angeles Laker. He waited and he was patient. And Russ, I think Rob Pelinka got to a point where it was basically, I'm only going to make a deal if I feel like it's in the best interest of the Lakers, period. And at the end of the day, if you don't like it, I don't care. I have a job to do. And yes, the Russell Westbrook was a really, really bad offseason move for the Lakers. It was a really bad trade. But I'm not going to take one bad trade and make it to another or lose all my assets in the process. Rob Pelinka, under all the pressure, it's the Lakers. This isn't the Washington Wizards. It's the Lakers. Think about all the pressure that comes with that job. He waited very, very patiently until he got to 2 weeks before the trade deadline, makes his first move, trades for Rui. Then he goes out, gets the D'Lo, the Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley. And I'm not telling you all these players worked. What I'm telling you was, and he gave up 1 draft pick instead of the 2. He had a plan. And as part of his plan, he didn't care about what the outside noise was saying. I'm going to figure out to do something that's in the best interest of the Lakers. So with that being said, and the reason why I set it up that way, I don't know if all these moves are going to work, but I think what they've done so far this summer is what a lot of Laker fans were hoping they would do. can you bring back a lot of the guys? Can you have some team-friendly deals in the process? Can you gain some continuity? Can you give this roster a chance to marinate for a second? And I think that's exactly what they're doing. And then they were still able to go out there. Obviously, you got the wings. Um, Torian Prince, I think, will be a player that gets some minutes. I don't know how much time Cam Reddish is going to get. I don't know how much time Jackson Hayes is going to get. I think those we'll have to wait and see. But I do think that the way Rob has kind of played since that Russell Westbrook trade went down, where he got rid of him, I think a lot more people are. There's a lot less heat on Rob Pelinka. It's more let the man do his thing. It seems like he's got a plan, and I think that's certainly been the case. All right, so we got here. D'Lo isn't a starting point guard for a championship caliber team. I'm not arguing that. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're telling me there's 2 minutes left in the game, I don't want D'Lo in the game. But this is what you also don't want to happen. You don't want D'Lo to walk away for nothing. That contract, if hypothetically the Lakers decide, let's shop D'Lo at the trade deadline, there aren't teams looking at D'Lo's contract and saying, oh my gosh, this is a terrible contract. I don't think that that's what's going to be the case for the Lakers if and when that happens. So I think he's kind of worked with the pieces that he has, and I think he's done a pretty good job doing that so far. Let me read a couple more comments here. By the way, I do like giving that background on the – I do like giving that background on Rob Pelinka specifically because he's in a position where you pretty much never win. I mean, no one's ever happy. The Lakers are always finding a way to put themselves in a position where they have to compete for an NBA championship, and I think at least in this case, that's been the deal. Okay, got a little breaking news here. This just came in from Shams Charania. Brook Lopez, 2 years, $48 million to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks. So for those that were asking the question, is it possible for the Los Angeles Lakers to go out there and get Brook Lopez? There had already come a point where they weren't going to have enough money, and I'm sure early in free agency, the Lakers knew Bruce Brown ain't coming to the Lakers. Neither is Brook Lopez. And this just kind of solidifies it. Brook Lopez is going to stay in Milwaukee, get his 2 years, his $48 million, is getting $24 million a year is what's being reported right now. So, all right, well, that's Brook Lopez off the board there. So you no longer have to talk about Brook Lopez when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. A couple more here. Rob doing a fantastic job. What he has to work with. I should have read Oscar's message before I went to Twitter. Brook Lopez back with the Bucks. I think Oscar actually reported that. I think he beat Woj and Shams to that. Good work, Oscar. Good work, man. Reeves coming back, taking too long to sign. I wouldn't be too shocked on this one. I just kind of let this one play out. The players that are usually in a restricted like he is with the Lakers, that usually takes a little bit longer. So we're going to find out if there's anybody there that matches what the Lakers are trying to do. Let me see what we got here. Ramona put out a tweet. Lakers, Rob Pelinka called last season's trades pre-agency in anticipation, putting themselves in position for deals just like this. Well, if you'd have told me when the Lakers at the trade deadline, Rui was going to cost more than D'Angelo Russell, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But I like it. I like that. That's a player that I think has got so much potential to kind of grow into his own type of player in the NBA and more consistent. And D'Lo's got some work to do. Okay. A couple more comments here. Reeves comes back and we had a really good offseason. I think he's coming back. I have a really, really difficult time thinking that he's not going to come back and be a Laker. Let's see what he got here. Rob signed a center. People, Jackson Hayes play backup center and some power forward. Now, I won't be surprised if we bring Bamba back on a vet minimum or go get another big on a veteran minimum. I think 2 roster spots left now for the Lakers. So 2 roster spots. You got to imagine Austin Reeves going to be one of them. And then they could still, put together a deal for Mo Bamba or even a Malik Beasley one of those two guys, even though I kind of find it difficult that Beasley is going to get a ton of playing time. So we'll see what happens there. Reeves not going anywhere is what people think. I love how Rob is moving towards the post-Braun era. You got to juggle both, I guess. Reeves comes back 100%. Okay, Laker fans, I think we're good. For now. Now, I could say that, and by the time I go sit and have a little bit of lunch, Austin Reeves can also sign, so we'll wait to see what happens there. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for being a part of this live stream. Keep you posted if anything else goes down, and I appreciate everybody taking the time on this Saturday to watch the show. D'Angelo Russell re-signs with the Lakers, 2 years, $37 million. Put your comments below what you think. Thank you, Laker fans. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your morning/afternoon.